Hey everybody, and welcome to Rider Club Radio, the podcast where two adult men watch children's shows and then tell you how we feel. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Jeff.
Were you planning this shit? Is this your shtick?
I've been thinking about this all week, and now it's come to fruition.
People already have a hard enough time telling us apart, apparently, or like putting our names to the correct person.
I'm Liam. My name's Liam.
Liam's a fuck. That's all you need to know to tell us apart.
Yeah, Liam's the bad one.
I caught the plague in the swamp, so I am about to fucking die at the end of this recording, so if I just trail off, you know what's happened. This week we watched Kamen Rider Ghost episode 9. Liam, why don't you tell us what happened in that episode while I take a nap?
Okay, good night, Jeff. So today, at the beginning of episode 9, you have Javel appears. Please watch our movie. Javel appears, and he's assigned as sort of like a bodyguard slash babysitter to Aaron. And he says, "Hey, I'm here, and I'm also gonna be in a movie soon, so please check that out if you have the time." And then he leaves, and the gang gets a letter.
He's in the whole episode, you idiot.
He leaves for them. The gang gets a letter, and he says, "Oh, it's a letter talking about a doctor who had disappeared 10 years ago, around the time when Takeru's dad died, and he disappeared in his...
He disappeared into Jigoku.
Yeah, and and his office is haunted now. So they go to check it out, and they find that the office is indeed haunted, and they go back to like his old office or something. It's like a warehouse on the edge of town, and there's some science shit in there. And they find the doctor, and he's there, and he's like reminiscing about something. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna fucking tell you anything," and he runs off. And Takeru chases after him, and he goes, "Wait, I'm Tenkuji Ryu's son." And the doctor's like, "Oh, really? You're the guy's son? Oh." And just as he's about to tell him something, the Ganma appears, who I think is based on Guan Yu. It seems like he's based on Guan Yu. He's got the same spear as Guan Yu, he's got the same hat as Guan Yu, he wears green, just like Guan Yu, and he's got the beard.
He's based on having a stupid-ass dragon for a beard. That's what he's based on.
I think he's Guan Yu. I was talking, like, way forever ago about how I kind of wanted there to be a Three Kingdoms Ghost.
Yeah.
In Ghost. And it's not going to be a form, I don't think, but we got this. Here's our Three Kingdoms character. It's Guan Yu.
Oh my god.
Of all the people...
That's all we got?
Of all the people... I guess Guan Yu is not a bad choice. It wasn't like... They didn't pick, like, I don't know.
No, but it's not, like, really awesome Guan Yu. It's a fucking stupid-ass Ganma with a dragon beard.
He's just a silly dragon beard Ganma.
And dragon beard makes it sound really awesome, but it's really not.
It's a funny little plastic thing sticking out of his chin. It's a Toei costume, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick. So they fight, and Ghost... It looks like he defeats him, but he disappears. Guan Yu disappears, and the doctor has also disappeared. But at the warehouse, they find a fan that belonged to Benkei. It was just, like, sitting there. They just find this fan, and it's got a poem on it, and they're like, "Oh, this is Benkei's fan." You know, despite the fact that it should have withered away to nothing, and it's sitting unprotected in this warehouse, Benkei just left this fan here before he died, and here it is. We've got it. And they also get a journal, and they go back to their little, like, base, and they read the journal, and they're like, "Oh, the journal says, like, oh, shit's been all fucked up. We tried to do the thing with Takeru's dad, and it got all fucked up, and now he's dead, and now all hope is lost." And Takeru's like, "I'm gonna go back and check this out again." So he goes back to the lab, and the doctor is still there, and he's doing the same thing as before. Like, I guess that's just what he does, like, for a living. Someone pays him to do it. He just hangs out there 8 hours a day and, like, reminisces and has, like, Vietnam flashbacks about ghost experiments. So he's there, and he's like, oh no, and then Takeru appears, and he says, "Hey," he gives him, like, a speech about how, there's hope.
Yeah, and he gives him the same speech he gives fucking everybody. "My life's gonna burn bright, and I believe in myself." And he's like, "Holy shit, I see the world differently now."
He changes the man's life with a few cliche lines of dialogue, and the man says, "Okay, I'll help. I'll tell you everything." And then fucking Guan Yu appears again, and they fight Guan Yu, and Guan Yu cuts the Doctor in his back. He slashes him across his back, and this causes the Doctor to glow?
The Ghost is really good at being a hero.
Everybody.
Yeah,
he
gets fucking saved by an old-ass doctor man who loses his life.
Not just that. I don't think the Doctor dies. Onari drags him off.
Probably not.
Because this is modern Rider and nothing bad can happen to anyone. The Onari drags him off. He gets slashed across the back with a huge ghost spear, but he's fine. His clothes just get a little ripped, and Onari drags him off. And this causes the Doctor to glow, and this causes Benkei's fan to glow. And when Benkei's fan glows, Guan Yu's like, finally, the final icon.
It makes sense that the Doctor glows and that the fan glows, because Benkei's thing was devotion to your friend. Like, okay. 100% devotion.
Yeah.
And he saves Takeru because of his devotion to Takeru's dad.
But it's also because Takeru has devotion to Makoto, wasn't it? He said that Makoto's my friend, I'm going to save him. And he's like,
there's a lot of, like, implied butt sex.
Yeah, tons of it. That's Kamen Rider. So he says, I better get this fucking icon before Guan Yu gets it. And he uses the thing, he draws the eye, he gets the icon, he uses the icon, he fights Guan Yu escapes, and Spectre cuts in, and they have a big fight on a bridge. And then Takeru absolutely fucking kicks Spectre's ass.
He wrecks his shit.
He wrecks him. And Spectre drops his sister on the ground. He drops Little Cannon, the icon, and that's how Takeru figures out what Spectre's fighting for. And he's like, Spectre, don't be so evil. And Cannon's like, yeah, don't be so evil. And Spectre's like, everyone stop, shut up. And he walks off.
This is who I am, Mom.
Mom's gonna freak. And he storms off of the bridge. And that's... now that all the icons are created, the sage, the old man, is staring ominously at the big, like, monolith that Takeru keeps in his basement. There's going to be something special happening. Now all the 15 icons are done. The plot is going to start moving, maybe, and that's the end of the episode.
The next episode shows, the next episode preview shows that stupid briefcase that fucked up teeth man carries around all the time is full of icons, so he's gonna get all of them next episode. Yeah,
something bad's gonna happen. Some shit's gonna go down next episode. I'm excited for that. But enough about next episode. Jeff, what did you think about this episode?
Interesting fact before we get into the episode.
Okay.
That bridge is a historic site. It's the site of Benkei's showdown with his enemy. So that's why they have that showdown and stuff once the Benkei form shows up. It's just a neat little tie-in.
That's a nice detail, actually. That's pretty cool.
There's actually a statue there of Benkei fighting the guy.
That's really cool.
As for the episode itself, I guess more happened this time.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it, really. Because I guess we're getting information that you could have figured out if you would have thought about it for 5 seconds.
They keep...
Like, Saionji's a traitor. Well, of course he is. He's an evil fucking evil man. Every
time it seems like we're getting closer to finding out information about what happens 10 years ago, in this episode, it's stuff we kind of already knew. Takeru's dad died, something went wrong, Saionji's bad.
Yeah, we get close to figuring out stuff about 10 years ago, and then a ghost pops out. Every time.
Just like his actual historical counterpart, Guan Yu stops all plot. That was his role.
Everybody knows the history books known as Dynasty Warriors.
The famous historical novels in which Guan Yu swings his spear and hits 100 guys and makes them all fly into 100 more guys.
That's actually pretty canon to legends, like Chinese legends.
No, I've read the original Three Kingdoms book before, and Guan Yu is like, the book goes on and on about how he's got this big, beautiful beard, and he's such a fucking badass, and he's so cool.
Yeah, but is his beard a dragon? I don't fucking think so.
Maybe he styled it like that, like when he was in the bathtub when he thought no one was looking.
Maybe he had a big fucking plastic dragon beard and nobody could figure it out because plastic hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah, that was his thing. Not many history books kept that.
Neither here nor there, I guess. Makoto's sister, Kanon, tells him straight up, yeah, I don't want you taking his icons. And he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
He's saving her. I think that's interesting. He's saving her against her will. It's a fun angle for his character.
It's not really against her will. Kanan has 0% will.
Well,
He's like, don't you want me to get the icons? And she's like, well, no, not really. And he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And she's like, all right.
I guess that's true. She can't do anything. She's not going to do shit about it.
She could be like, no, don't, big brother. You are hurting others. Instead, she's like, all right.
I guess there's nothing I can do.
I guess I'll just be an icon that has blush marks when I talk. Really, Toei?
She's been there for 10 years. Does it really, I'm sure she's gotten used to it by now, Makoto.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Also, you can't bring somebody back with the icons if they've been dead longer than 99 days, you fucking idiot.
Well, hang on.
Have you not been watching the show?
She's not dead. She's stuck. She didn't die. She just, flew into the Ganba world.
I don't understand the difference between her and Takeru's predicament. Because his soul is in the Ore icon. Self-soul.
Here's the thing.
Her soul is in an icon, too. What the fuck's the diff?
Here's what I think. And this is going to get really technical, so everybody get out your notebooks.
I'm ready.
There will be a test. I think what's happening is Kanan is in the ghost world, right? She got sucked in through a portal, and the icon is just like a window for her. It's like a window for her to talk to Makoto from the ghost world.
That would make a lot more sense, but what's its face? The puppet. Urison. Why did I forget that? I like Urison. Urison's like, oh, that icon has a girl's soul in it.
Well, maybe
she says that outright.
Maybe Urison was just speculating.
Maybe, but it seems like Urison would know its shit about the icons and stuff, since it's the one that's behind them.
I guess.
Spoilers, Urison's the real villain.
Oh, wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be stupid as fuck, actually?
It would be.
I would appreciate just a big twist. So try something new, do something weird and different. I would like that.
Yeah, Urison says that her soul is trapped in the icon, but then again, that could be like a translation thing.
It could be.
Maybe we didn't get the right translation because they've already issued a little thing saying that at the beginning of the episode, Takeru says there's 16 days left.
Yeah.
There's 26 days.
Oh,
they
really?
actually translated that incorrectly.
Fucking overtime. We got your number.
26, apparently.
Give us $17,000 by Friday, or this goes public.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
Just send it to me. Liam doesn't really need
Finish the Ryuki subs by Friday, or this goes public. Kanan's predicament aside, what did you think of this episode?
Is Kanan's predicament canon?
No, that's not the sound you deserve. You deserve a slide whistle going. Whoo.
You find a slide whistle and insert it after that joke.
Okay, you deserve a little fart noise.
Don't do. I'll just make my own. Anyway,
I thought this episode was.
Oh my god.
What?
Nobody cares what you thought about this episode.
Well, you were taking so much fucking time to get around to your opinion, I decided that I would cut in.
I thought this episode was pretty as well. Last it's small progression, little steps. I think this one's actually a little bit better than last episode.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree,
it's such a small little progression. It's like baby steps.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think this episode's better than the last episode at all, now that I think about it. Because there was another commercial at the beginning of this.
I was going to get to that. There was another toy commercial in this episode.
They're like, oh, look at these fucking Christmas cards we made. We made them for Akari, too. Please buy them.
Yeah, Takeru comes up from the pit, and they're like, hey, Takeru, look at this. And Takeru's like, is this plot relevant? And they're like, nope. Look at these Christmas cards we made. Get the camera up all good. Get a good shot of them. Aren't they great looking?
And, nobody has anything negative to say about them. They're all like, oh my god, they're so great.
No one's like, oh, they could be a little bigger. This part could be better. No, they're like, this is perfect. It's perfect. If this was in a store, I would buy 12.
I feel like the, sound design people have fucked themselves over slightly with all the icons taking so long to make all their sounds. And they all have to do their sounds every single time. So they're, vastly speeding them up. Did you notice that when Spectre was transforming?
No, I didn't. What is they like? They just like 2 times speed it?
They sped it up slightly and they cut it off immediately. Like they took a lot of the like breathing room out of it, and so it was like back to back words.
That's pretty funny.
They don't have enough time to play that shit.
I guess
Every time
not.
somebody puts an icon in.
It's Gaim kind of did something like that too. In Gaim, you remember how he had lemon raiment?
No.
No? Okay, well he had lemon raiment. And when he first uses it...
Yes, I've seen this show, Liam.
Okay.
I remember.
When he first uses it, it does the full call out. It says orange arms, etc., 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 and then do Jinba lemon. And then every time after that he uses it, it skips the orange arms part. They just cut it out entirely. Even though that's what the toy does.
For the best.
That's what the functionality is. But they just fucking cut it because it's so long. It's so long if you leave that in.
Can you imagine how stilted a fucking episode of Gaim would be if they played all the sounds, like, with nothing happening? Like they do in Ghost most of the time. When somebody transforms, they, like, do a little tiny bit of movement when they transform, but most of the time they just stand there and wait for it. They're gonna have to figure some way around that.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure those creative bastards over at Toei, they'll figure something out like usual.
Yeah, Toei is the most creative.
They're creative when it comes to cutting corners.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. The man's right. What did you think about the episode, though?
It feels like the plot is spinning its wheels. I know we've already done that. We've already talked about this. But it feels like the story is spinning its wheels. It feels like we're not really going anywhere with it. It's just kind of like trying to stretch it out until we can get to the end of the days, which will be next episode, thank fucking God. And I'm just waiting for that. Like, this episode just feels like filler until that, and nothing really of importance happens other than Takeru finding out about canon.
I don't think this was aimed at us specifically. It was aimed at a different audience, and that different audience is at SlayerU on Twitter, who said, "This episode made me want to buy some toys, so I guess it was exactly what it needed to be."
John Toei loves you.
You were the correct audience for the show.
I was just about to make a joke about how none of the Kamen Rider episodes are aimed at us, because we're a bunch of fucking 20-something dudes in America.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We just gave away our location, by the way.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
in the world's going to come looking.
They've narrowed it down to America. They're going to start investigating next.
But continue with your summary of why you don't like this episode.
Well, I've gone over it. I mean, Takeru spews the same speech he always does. The Benkei icon, they didn't even try to justify it. Like, usually it's a person who has a passion for that particular historical character, but they sort of stretched it out as like, oh, he likes Friends, and Benkei liked Friends as well. And even though Seinfeld is superior, they both...
That needs a slide whistle, if anything does.
I'll put one in right here.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
If there was no slide whistle, please contact me at Rider Club Radio on Twitter to tell me Liam's a fucker, because I don't listen to this shit.
I don't need people to tell me I'm a fucker. I get that vibe from the inside of my heart every day.
Oh, no. It's good that you're aware, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to be self-aware. Even if I wasn't doing a podcast that forced me to watch it every week, I would probably still be watching Ghost, though, despite the fact that I'm not really enjoying it, because I just love the forms. I love the forms, and I love the fights. And
yeah.
Those are what really keeps bringing me back. Not just the look of them, but like, oh, it's not just a cool Egyptian form, it's fucking King Tut. And he's got a scythe, and here's Benkei, and I didn't even know who he was before I watched this show, but I know he's a big Japanese historical guy, and it's cool. You know. Now I know. I'm learning.
Although I will say, I started watching Forze, and when it comes to fights, I'll like tie this back in later.
Okay.
But Ghost does leave something to be desired.
Yeah, they're not perfect, but I like them.
And the suits are all really good.
Yeah, God, I love those suits. I love the hoodies.
Got that on Forze.
Just, yeah. Forze suits. Oh boy, we've had this discussion. We're not doing this 2 weeks in a row.
No.
Yeah, lame episode. I'm waiting for next week.
Yeah, next week seems like more stuff's gonna happen, but haven't we said that for like 5 episodes in a row?
They're so good at stringing us along. They're so good.
It's like all those scenes where it seemed like something is happening is gonna be like 5 minutes at the end of the episode, and that's it.
Every time you think, oh, I'm gonna teach you about 10 years ago, and then you get to the episode and they're like, oh, I'm gonna teach you about 10 years ago. Your father was a scientist, and there was an accident. Ah, it's Guan Yu. And then that's it. They're like, fuck.
At Gar Platinum on Twitter said, it reached the point where if it doesn't ramp up by episode 15, I'm dropping and watching something else instead. So you hear that, John Toei? Get your fucking act together, or Gar Platinum is gonna drop your fucking show.
And then it's over. Once that
Tamaz
happens,
dropped it. I think I already said that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Tamaz dropped it.
Tamaz is done.
He called it off.
Tamaz, if you're here, it's still not good. It's still not worth picking back up.
You have made the correct decision so far, but who knows?
We'll be your spotters. We'll let you know when to pick it back up, if ever.
Not this episode.
Not this episode, no. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it as well.
Okay.
Although, our good pal Belf said, why the fuck did he let Spectre run off and not just talk to each other? Fucking Heisei misunderstandings.
Nobody wants to talk to each other in Heisei. That's not a new thing. They're always like, something's going wrong. And then even when they corner the person that they need to talk to, they're like, I need to tell you something. And they're like, what do you need to tell me? And he's like, and then his phone starts ringing, and he's like, I can't tell you it after this phone conversation. I'll go.
A monster fucking pops out.
A monster pops out, and then they forget to tell them after they fight, what have you.
If only that would happen in, like, awkward situations in real life. Like, you're trying to ask a girl out and making an idiot out of yourself, and just, I just wanted to know. And then a monster fucking pops out, and you don't gotta worry about it anymore.
If you get to transform and fight that monster and look all cool, then you don't need to ask her out. Then it's just like, you look awesome. She'll do it anyways.
I guess I'll never know what that's like.
What, fighting monsters or
to look awesome?
Being okay. Someone said on Twitter that they think Alan Aaron is going to be Necrom, because Necrom uses like a wrist brace, and Aaron's wrist, I think it's his right wrist, is never shown. It's always covered by that big long sleeve. Yeah. Do you think there's any merit to that?
Aaron, what the fuck ever.
Let's say Aaron. Overtime says Aaron, so we'll say Aaron.
Overtime says Aaron, and they're the kings. So.
Yes. They are the Century Kings.
Yeah, he's gonna be Necrom. He's the only other fucking named character.
Well, you don't think they're gonna introduce, a Go Shijima just gonna pop out and be Necrom?
I don't think so. It doesn't feel like that's what's gonna happen in this show. The whole thing seems to be connectivity. All the characters are connected in some way. Yeah. So I feel like having somebody just pop up and be like, by the way, I'm also a rider, isn't really gonna happen in this series.
I hope you're right. It seems like something they won't fuck up.
Put your faith in John Toei.
Well, that's all for this episode.
I guess that's all we really have to say about this episode. It was 25 minutes, 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it was.
And it seemed like shit was happening, but looking back on it, I don't think anything really happened.
Not much really happened. I mean, the last icon was created, which I guess is pretty big, but like the implications of that are not going to be seen until next episode.
Oh, there is the whole thing with like Javel comes out and he's
who gives a shit?
Fuck you. Javel comes out and he's like, his royal emperorness.
Oh, that's true.
Sent me or whatever, and Aaron's like, Dad did.
Oh,
so he's
Prince
Aaron.
Yeah. And, it's little droplets of plot.
Yeah, and also, like, Javel and Aaron are, like, hanging out on top of a building, and they're looking at one of the eye things. And Javel's like, oh, it's very beautiful. And Aaron says, oh, we need to move to the next one. We have to speed up the process. And Javel mentioned something earlier about, like, breaching the gap between worlds or something. So I think that's their plan. They're trying to bring the ghost world into our world.
What I do like about Javel is that it doesn't seem like he's going to be a really painfully awkward one-off. Like, here's the movie character. He's got a connection and he's going to do stuff. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to stay around for a while.
Yeah.
And he's not just fucking the Roid Mute that turns into
Krim.
Belt Sand.
Yeah. Spoilers for Drive, I guess?
It was in the fucking episode.
But what if they haven't seen Drive? What if they just started with Ghost? What then?
Well, fucking forget we said anything.
Wind back on that. Jeff, why are you lying about Drive's plot?
I'm sorry I told a straight lie right to your fucking face,
Making
everyone.
up falsehoods to the world. I watched the DVD special this week.
Oh, a Ghost DVD special?
No, I'm talking about it was like a bunch of extras on the Conan the Barbarian Blu-ray. I wanted to talk a little about that.
Alright, let's hear about it. How many weird, awkward sex scenes are in the extra content?
I'm talking about a fucking Ghost special, yes.
I want to talk about Conan the Barbarian.
No, this isn't the Conan cast. That's our other one that no one listens to.
Okay, we should probably release that one day.
Yeah, someday.
We're on episode 500 of that shit.
Sitting on a hard drive. No, I watched this DVD special, a raw of a DVD special. There was no subs, so I just had to kind of intuit the plot through body language and visuals.
Boy. I can't wait to hear how incorrect you are about this.
We should do this as a segment. I think it's fun. But there's a big fat lady who loves to eat and is only happy when she's eating, comes to visit, and she's like, "Oh, there's a ghost."
Wow. Check your
true.
privilege.
No, it's true. She's like, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'm attacked by a ghost. What do I do?" And they're like, "Oh, how do we cheer her up?" And then it cuts and she's like eating a bunch of donuts and stuff. And
I
then
want
she's like,
everybody to know that Liam is #microaggressing right now.
No, it's John Toei is #microaggressing, not me. So she's eating a bunch and she's like, "Oh, there's a ghost haunting me." So they go to, Takeru knows that it's going to be EQ this week. I don't know how he got the hint. That doesn't show it. But he's like dressed up like EQ.
Liam, what the fuck is EQ?
EQ is a mischievous monk. That's all I know. He's like a clever monk and he outsmarts other people.
Is he a fictional character?
He's historical, but everyone in Japan knows him from an anime. An old, 80s anime, like a little, comedy anime called...
So he's historical and they based an anime on him, like Astro Boy.
Yeah, just like Astro Boy. No, it's more like it's more like Guan Yu, right? He's historical, but everyone is more familiar with a fantastical fiction version of him. So
everyone in China knows Guan Yu from Dynasty Warriors. So.
No, everyone here knows Guan Yu from Dynasty Warriors. Everyone in China knows him because that's just they know him. But he dresses up like EQ from the anime. He's got this platinum blue bald wig, and he's talking like a clever little monk. And he goes and they investigate, and the ghost is there, and the ghost challenges them to a quiz battle, like a quiz, and the fat lady hosts it, and Onari is in love with the fat lady, and he keeps rubbing his face on her face, and they have a quiz battle, and the ghost...
Liam, this sounds awful.
No, they have a quiz battle, and I can't tell obviously what they're asking, but the ghost loses. Not Kamen Rider Ghost, but the ghost, the Ganma loses.
Ganma.
The Ganma.
I suddenly understand why they aren't called ghosts.
Yeah, it would be very confusing. And then the EQ icon appears. I don't remember where exactly it comes from, but it appears. And then Ghost takes it, but he doesn't use it. He beats up the Ganma, and then that's the end. And that's it. And then it's like a lead into the Hyper Battle DVD where there's going to be EQ and there's going to be Pythagoras. And it's just it's the setup for that for some fucking reason. We needed it. And that's that. It was kind of a weird little novelty. I can't say I terribly enjoyed watching it, especially without subs. But there it is. I found it. It was sitting there, and I had to see it, just out of morbid curiosity.
That sounds like a terrible ordeal to have to go through. How confusing, just baffling it would be to watch something so incredibly Japanese with no subs.
Oh, it was very Japanese. Kamen Rider is pretty Japanese, but when Japanese people do comedy, that's when it's really, really, really Japanese. And it was a very, comedy-heavy episode. So it was really, there's probably lots of puns and shit I didn't get. The only comedy that really got through to me was Onari being in love with this fat lady. And he's like, "I love you." And she's like, "Don't rub your face on my face again, Onari. I swear to Christ."
It's strange that they would use such English terminology in this Japanese show.
She just breaks out in perfect English for that one line. It was really jarring. But yeah, I mean,
It's not like that hasn't happened in Kamen Rider before.
That's true.
Somebody breaks out in perfect English for no reason.
Good to
Taking
see
care
you
of all
guys.
of you is also part of my job.
Okay, let's get off of this before we get mired
Just
in.
recite every line he ever said.
Go check it out. It's like 10 minutes. It's not a huge waste of your time. You probably won't enjoy it. I just gave you all the
So
important
why
stuff.
would you go watch it? Why are you trying to force our listeners to deal with this?
Because I hate all of you. That's it.
From what I hear, they all they feel the same way about you. I actually did a stream last weekend.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I was out.
Yeah, he was having a real life. I did like a sync tube, and we watched All Riders versus Die Shocker.
Why?
It is just as bad as you remember it, everyone.
Of all the movies you chose to watch...
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
That's why.
Your
It's the
options
only
are
thing I
limited.
could find on YouTube that had English subs. I think
Alright.
SyncTube is on its last leg just because I can't fucking find anything.
There's other ways around it.
Yeah,
Don't worry
figure
about it.
out. But somebody said that I used to be able to tell Jeff and Liam apart because I knew that Liam was the one that had bad opinions.
That's it? Are our voices that similar?
And now I have trouble because Jeff has revealed himself to have just as bad of opinions.
Oh, speaking of bad opinions, I wanted to say this. I'm going to get this on record. I think Nobunaga is my favorite form so far in Ghost.
And this is a bad opinion?
Apparently, I don't know. I'm just assuming no one's going to agree with me because that's usually how it is in life.
That's true. Nobunaga is really cool looking. I like it. I wouldn't say it's the best form. The best form is Base Spectre.
Yeah, I like Base Spectre, but I like Nobunaga a little more. I like what it represents, and I like the rifle, and I like the grabby hand.
I hate the grab.
I don't like the grabby hand, but I like the robes and the purple, and I like the like he's got like these like hanging off parts. These little like strips of fabric that hang off and they flow when he fights, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
I like it. It's a good form.
It is. It's a good form. Spectre, on the whole, has better forms than Ghost so far.
I'd say I love King Tut as well.
Yeah, King Tut's awesome with like the viper face.
Yeah, and the hands on the shoulders, really cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I actually like King Tut more than I do Nobunaga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are some
Talking
hot
about
opinions.
hot opinions, yeah. Do we have some news today, Liam?
Why we do, Jeff?
Why don't you tell me about it?
There's a rumor about what the final form of Ghost is going to be, so take this with a grain of salt. There's like no actual confirmation. It's just rumor and speculation. Apparently, the final form of Ghost is going to be Grateful Dead Soul, which is like a
like the band.
No, not like the band. Like the term Grateful Dead is like
they made the ice cream after the band.
No,
the Ben and Jerry's.
No, you fuck.
Is this named after an ice cream flavor?
No. Grateful Dead is when someone's dead and they didn't get buried and you bury them and their soul looks out for you. That's what a Grateful Dead is. And Ghost's soul is going to be called, his final soul is going to be called Grateful Soul, or Grateful Icon, Grateful Damashi, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to harness the power of all of his past forms.
Can we not do that anymore?
I'd like to not do that anymore, but that's really fucking believable.
Yeah, it is. I would be surprised if that wasn't true.
Considering the past few final forms, I just hate that. That's so boring. It's
all of the final forms for the most part.
It's such an obvious like, oh, he can use the power of all of them. Okay.
Whatever, I guess.
Fuck originality, I guess.
That's like the fucking Toei motto. They have it above the doors when you go into their offices. In perfect English, it says "fuck originality" in giant metal letters.
I like the image of Toei that we build up. I wish that was a real company. Just like this league of bumbling, cynical idiots.
They're just complete assholes, and they go completely out of their way to fuck over their fans. They just sit around in board meetings like, can you believe people actually watch this shit?
Sit around in board meetings trying to come up with like a drone that can steal money out of kids' pockets. so they can stop making this stupid Kamen Rider thing.
Can we make a toy that children have to put money in, and then the money is sent into our bank account?
Imagine like an O's driver, but instead of metals, you just use real coins, and it eats them every time you put it in. There you go.
Teleports them. Like, they create teleportation technology just so they can teleport your money to them.
Honestly, why would someone create teleportation technology if they wouldn't use it to make a shit zillion dollars?
I feel like you could make it better ways than taking children's money.
That's not how Toei do, Jeff.
Anyway.
So Grateful Dead...
I really do think Grateful Dead is probably going to happen.
I hope it's not true. Even if this is a completely made-up shit that some random Japanese guy liked to do for kicks, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the final form did turn out to be that he harnesses the 15 souls. That's just how I think it's going to be.
Yeah, even if it's not Grateful Dead form. Or
yeah,
whatever.
It's like Super Ghost, whatever. Super Ore.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's always talking about his life is burning bright. I bet it probably has something to do with that shit.
Yeah, maybe his icon is going to become a heroic soul.
But I guess Boost is like burning bright. Like it has fire all over it and shit.
That's true. Maybe that's what Boost is. I hope it doesn't replace the base form. It probably won't, but...
God, if it does, that thing is fucking hideous.
Nah, Toei's crazy, but they're not that crazy. It'll be fine.
The only form that I can think of that replaced the base form, like, for real... and wasn't just like the base form shows up and then turns into it every time, is, well, I don't know. It showed up and turned into it, but like Kiva's final form.
Oh, yeah, King.
Yeah, well,
Emperor.
Kiva's final form, I don't remember the name of it, but Taikawa, the suit actor, like, that fucked his back up horribly, his regular suit, because it was so top-heavy.
I saw him talking about that in a little, like, a Kamen Rider Decade documentary, where they were asking him what was the worst suit to wear, and he said Decade was the heaviest suit he had ever worn, but the worst one was Kiva's, because it puts all the weight on your shoulders. It doesn't distribute it at all.
Because of the, like, chains and shit. And that's why he gets his... according to, like, rumor, that's why he gets his final form so early, and that's why he uses it in place of his regular form so often.
I can believe that.
I guess that's neither here nor there either. But it's interesting.
Suit actors don't grow on trees. You gotta keep them healthy.
You gotta keep him healthy.
He's the best.
He is Mr. Kamen Rider at this point.
He's been, what was he, since, like, Agito he's been the main rider every year?
I don't remember.
Really, or I'm pretty sure he didn't do Kuga. I think it was Agito when he started. But this guy's been around forever. So don't kill him.
He's the man. Like, think about this. He's been all these different riders, and he's had to completely and totally change his performance for every single one of them.
And he's really good. He does good body language. Like,
yeah, he does. I'm learning that watching Forza. He, like, does Gentaro's body language.
Yeah. He's good at, like, in Drive, when they did the Final Form type Trideron, and he would, like, switch between being Belt-san and, I forgot the guy's name, because he's not the main character anymore.
Nobody cares anymore.
Shinosuke. He switched between Belt-san...
He's not even in this show. Fuck him.
He switched between Belt-san and Shinosuke, and, like, his posture would change, and the way he punches would change, and everything. It looks great. He's good at it.
He got practice with that when he was doing Double.
Yeah.
And he would switch between the body language of Philip and Shotaro.
Yeah. It's cool.
He's a good dude. I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, maybe someday.
I can't speak Japanese, but, you know.
It'll be an awkward meeting.
We would mime at each other. He's good at mime. What else happened in the news, buddy?
Did you see the rumored design of Kamen Rider Necrom?
No.
Apparently, Necrom appears in the movie, Super Movie Wars Genesis. He probably is just like a little appearance, by the toy when it comes out.
Yeah.
And there was a private screening of it, and somebody who claimed to be at the private screening saw, he made a little doodle, he made a little drawing of what he saw of Necrom. I'll have that in the blog post, and you can look at it, and it looks pretty cool.
Can you link that to me, and we'll do another live
reaction? Oh, boy. Yeah.
Everybody loves the live reaction that no one's ever commented on.
It's pure genuine Jeff. Here you go, hit it, buddy.
Oh, wow. It looks like Ghost with a fucking cookie on his face. What?
Hang on.
No wonder you didn't want to show this to me.
Hang on, you can't shit on the design for looking like Ghost, because Spectre looked like Ghost. Obviously, Necrom's gonna look a lot like Ghost.
Of course Necrom's gonna look a lot like Ghost, but Spectre is visually distinctive enough.
Yeah.
I guess I thought Necrom was gonna look different.
Yeah.
Because he's not the same as... He's not using, like, a Ghost driver.
That's true. He's using a like an eyedropper thingy on his wrist. He doesn't use a Ghost driver.
So, usually in Kamen Rider, if you use, like, the same belt, you tend to look similar in some way. I guess that's not been true recently, but it's true in Blade.
Yeah.
And I finished Blade a while ago, so it's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
But I don't know... It looks like he has, like, a disc on his face, like... Or that he's wearing a tiny, like, Meta Knight mask.
I think that's just the artist not being very good.
Oh, he's alright.
He's alright, but it's a very quick doodle.
Yeah. So we have absolutely no idea what Necrom's gonna look like.
Well, there's an idea. There's, like, if this guy is not a complete lying shithead, here's the thing. Look at it.
Wouldn't that be funny if that little symbol that he drew on the face is like some sort of like Japanese in-joke that means like idiot foreigner or something?
a bunch of Japanese characters that when you read them in order, it means if you're watching this and you are not Japanese, please get out. Get out. Turn it off right now. We don't want you.
That's a lot of information in that one symbol. What else happened, Liam?
The Super Movie Wars Genesis got a new trailer, and it has pretty much nothing new in it, but you get to see the fighting spirit boost in action.
Please be excited.
Please be excited. It's still not a good suit.
No.
Like all suits that I hate, I enjoy it more when I see it in motion. Still not a great suit.
Yeah.
But there it is.
You get over it when you're watching it in motion, but as soon as it's done, you think back and you say, wow, that suit still is a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's not. It's just over-designed. It just feels like Ghost... The reason why I like Ghost-based suit is it's simple. It's just it's black and orange, and it's a hoodie, and it doesn't do too much. Whereas Fighting Spirit Boost is it's like something you'd draw in your notebook in middle school. He's got like flames all over him, and it's spiky.
He really is like the middle schooler who loves medals notebook doodle.
It's the middle schooler who watched Ghost and was like, this would be my ghost form. I'd be fucking on fire, and I'd be even stronger than Ghost and Spectre combined, and Akari would be my wife.
Liam.
Maybe I went a little too far with that.
Did you create Boost? I know
when you put it in
Ghost.
When you put it into the Ghost driver, Akari becomes your wife as long as it's on. That's one of the powers they haven't talked about yet.
You heard it here first. Liam's been right about everything else for Ghost. So.
Oh boy, there's like 3 little trailers. There's nothing huge in them, but I'll post them all. You get to see them.
You got a thing for Akari, Liam?
No.
She's alright. She's kind of a cutie.
I mean, yeah, I guess. No.
Any more news?
Yeah, this has been in pictures and stuff, but it just got officially confirmed that in the new Betrayed War game, Betrayed War Genesis, you can play as Takeshi Hongo. Not Kamen Rider 1, but his human form, his civilian...
Yeah, his leather jacket, super coiffed hair form.
Yeah, you can play as him and fight as him and shit.
You can also transform.
That's pretty neat.
You can run around as him, and then when you get tired of playing as him, you can transform.
Just like the Super
Rider
Nintendo
1.
game.
Yeah. If they made a 2-player mode where the second player was Ichimonji, it would be perfect.
Wouldn't that be the perfect video game?
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. But yeah, there's some screenshots and stuff you can look at. It looks pretty cool.
If anybody listening to this is like a game designer or wants to be a game designer, making like an updated version of the Super NES Kamen Rider game. Just like throw all in on it.
Yeah, beat 'em ups are having a bit of a resurgence lately.
Yeah.
In games. So yeah, fucking do it.
We will whore the hell out of your game no matter how bad it is.
That's true.
If it's Kamen Rider.
We'll live stream it.
Oh god. Now no one's gonna want to help us out.
Oh, boy.
Oh god, they're gonna put their name on it? Fuck this.
Yeah, get out of here.
Is that all for news, buddy?
That is all for news. You got some emails for us?
Well, I might.
You might.
Our first email is from like ages ago. Oopsie wrote in and had 2 questions, and I completely fucking overlooked them because I was busy listening to her podcast, which she linked to us.
Oh, yeah.
She has 2 questions. Number 1, secondary swap. If you could place any secondary rider in a different series, who and where would you place him? To make it clear, for example, if Kaito Kumon was the secondary in Double instead of Gaim.
Oh. Oh my god. This is quite a question.
One. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would put Gatak in anything.
Gatak? Pick one. Where would Gatak be perfect?
Oh god. I'd put him in Fies so that the show would get some much needed levity.
The show would get some much-needed normal person who isn't a crazy weirdo. Who acts like a human being sometimes.
And, like, fucking Kagami would just, like, run up to somebody and spill his fucking heart out.
Yeah.
Nobody in Fies' world would know what to do with that.
My god, he's so sensible. Kill him.
What the fuck? He's telling me what he's thinking? This is disgusting.
He's calmly and rationally explaining the situation to me? Ugh. I would put Ichijo, if Ichijo counts, in Drive.
Oh, he would be good in Drive.
He would be good as like the he could be how Genpachiro Oda was sort of the non-believer like normal cop correspondent early on. You could have Ichijo be like the guy on the inside, the guy on the top brass, who's like got a little more pull than the special crimes unit, and can make special bullets and actually use them. Wouldn't that be cool? That's my pick.
I think Ichijo might be a little too he's like the quintessential straight man.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well he would fit into Drive like that.
That's true.
I guess he could react to everybody else's weirdness.
He plays off really well against Kuga for that reason, because Kuga's such a goof. But I think he'd be interesting in like a cop setting, such a cop-heavy setting.
You know who would be great in Drive is G3.
Oh,
Nagito.
yeah. That's an obvious pick.
Yeah, he would be like the police's secret weapon to try and defeat the Roid Mudes.
Yeah, the police want their own Drive, even though they technically
They already
have
have
one,
it.
but they don't know yet until like halfway through.
He could be horrifically ineffective against them. Because that's what he does.
Oh boy.
He gets effective as the series goes on.
Okay. Spoilers.
But yeah, spoiler alert. Ochi's second question is, suppose you are within a Kamen Rider story, what type of character would you be?
Oh god.
And I know exactly what type of character you and I would be.
What's that?
We would be the 2 people sitting in the background on plastic furniture having lunch when the monster shows up to show how much he fucking hates plastic furniture.
Yeah, the
And
monster
starts slapping it around.
the monster would grab me by my throat and then throw me on the ground, and I'd go, ah, and then I'd run away.
And I would, like, do a weird shaky leg motion in the background and go, ah, ah, and run.
I'd drop my banana milkshake and run.
That is the most realistic response.
Okay,
of
but
where we would be in Kamen Rider.
assuming you were actually a part of the plot, what kind of character would you be?
I would be the useless, goofy sidekick who exists to marvel at the hero
Okay.
and wish I was him.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fuck you.
I was when you asked that question, I immediately thought of Q from Drive.
That
So
would be you.
If that tells you anything.
Liam truly is Q on the inside.
I would be the fanboy of the main character. Who was like, oh, that rider, he's so cool, I wish I could be him.
So we would pretty much be the same character.
That's why we're such great friends.
We're both horrible fucking losers.
Yeah. I would be the rider that wants to kill the main character because I'm just so cool and he's not cool.
That's his whole motivation, too.
Yeah. Wow, you're not cool. You don't even have a leather jacket that you wear all the time. What kind of loser.
Why aren't you wearing a completely leather outfit from head to toe? What are you, some kind of nerd?
Ugh. What other questions we got?
Our next question is from Graham,
Okay.
who says, which Ghost gadget is your favorite / why do you hate all of them? Liam?
I guess the spider lantern. I'm not really a fan of Ghost gadgets. I mean, they're alright. I was kind of, like, they're these little animals, and I kind of wish they were like the ghosts of dead animals, just to tie into that, but they're just like robots. They're just little robot ghost gadgets. So that's why I hate all of them, if you're going to ask. But if I had to pick one, I like the spider lantern, just because I like spiders.
I also hate all of them, and I hate spiders.
Oh, well, what's your favorite if you had to pick one?
I like that Onari calls them most honorable whatever animal they are.
Yeah.
Sama.
Yeah.
That cracks me up.
That's a nice little detail.
But if I had to choose, I would probably choose the Condor phone because I fucking lose it every time Takeru uses it as an actual phone.
Because it's this little baby phone. It's a phone that you hold in your thumb and forefinger.
Like, it's a tiny little fucking, like, Alexander Graham Bell-ass 1900s phone. And he uses it like other riders use a cell phone.
Yeah. He takes it out of his pocket.
It makes me laugh every time.
Too bad, Apple. No cell phone tie-ins for you, because we got a Condor phone this season.
Everybody else will have a cell phone from Apple, don't worry.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what Aaron is holding underneath his sleeve.
Oh, he's got
gonna
that.
like whip that out and have the newest iPhone, like the iPhone 20.
I'm sure every computer we see is gonna be Apple.
Oh yeah,
That was in
probably already have been actually.
That was in Ryuki. Ryuki had quite a few computers in it, I remember, and every single one was a Mac, and it was so like every time I didn't notice at first, but as the series goes on, you're like, that's a Mac. And that's a Mac, and every single computer's a Mac. Where's the non-Macs?
They don't exist in Japan.
No, everybody in Japan uses Apple products, I guess, all the time.
Wouldn't that be great, though, if, like, Aaron's big reveal was he was just holding the new iPhone and, like, it flashed the fucking price on the screen for one frame?
You know, the way this season's been going about doing little ads inside of the show, I wouldn't be surprised. That shit's shameless.
It really is.
I don't think I've adequately expressed my disgust for those little vignettes where they talk about a fucking product as part of the plot. Like with other Rider series, it's a little thing on the end of the episode, like just after the next episode preview.
It's
oh, by the way,
an actual ad that you can not pay attention to if you want.
Yeah,
but this is the actual episode. It's like when you go to see. Like, you go to see iRobot, and fucking Will Smith is like, hey, you see my Converse shoes? Converse brand Converse?
Yeah, those fucking shoes. Ugh.
Do you see my fucking Pepsi collection? Oh, nice it's so shoes, delicious.
Will Smith. Jesus Christ.
There ain't nothing wrong with Converse.
But there is something wrong with really awful, awkward product placement.
That's true. There's a movie called Cobra, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And he gets in a shootout in a small little grocery store in the middle of the inner city. And there is a giant fucking 10 feet tall display of Pepsi cans. With a giant neon Pepsi sign above it, and every single shot during that shootout has it in it.
Oh boy.
It looks like it moves a couple times during the shootout.
I guess that's still better, though, than if Stallone had stopped in the middle of the shootout and was like, man, this shootout sure is making me thirsty. Sure could go for a Pepsi Cola right now.
It wouldn't even be like that. It'd be like he'd pick it up and be like, oh my god, this is a Cobra Pepsi. I guess they put my face on this can to commemorate me.
Get the fuck out. How did we get on this? Ghost gadgets? What were we talking about?
Yeah, ghost gadgets.
We got so far off track.
Alright.
We're going to talk about the Unabomber next.
Our next question is from Timeline.
Okay.
He says, "Hi, Jeff and Liam. I know the podcast is supposed to be about Kamen Rider, but I wanted to know what your opinion is of the scans that got leaked of the new Super Sentai team, since you apparently haven't been watching the Ninja. I don't blame you. Thanks, guys." Signed, Timeline.
Juoger, it's called?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dobutsu Sentai Juoger. It's fucking animals again.
Yeah.
Animals.
When Tokuger came out, when they showed the Tokuger suits, everyone said, wow, those suits are bad. They look like pajamas. And I said, yeah, they kind of look like pajamas. I think they're alright, though. I like the train track motif they got going across it. It's fine. These suits are fucking awful. They're really bad. I'm usually very forgiving.
The helmets are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the helmets alright. They're kind of simple helmets, but I like them alright. Where they drop the ball is that they're wearing fucking long sleeve graphic tees with animal prints on them.
I'm very forgiving about Sentai suits. I'll take anything, but these are bad. They're quite bad. It's like it's the same problem I have with Kiwami from Gaim, where they're like, oh, should we make an outfit that actually goes with the theme, or should we just make an outfit and draw pictures of fruit on it and just fucking go with that? It's just this. Let's give them a regular jumpsuit and just draw a picture of an eagle on it. Yeah, fuck you. There you go.
I like Kiwami.
Okay, I don't, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, if you've ever been to like a fucking Halloween store like 3 days after Halloween when they should have already closed up by now, and you went to the fucking like bargain basement section, you've probably already seen the Juoger suits. Like, if you want to fucking find your own Juoger suit, go to Party City Bargain Basement and purchase one for 99 cents today.
Get yourself a graphic tee with a picture of a lion on it, and there, yeah, you're 3/4 of the way there.
The only interesting thing about these suits is that the red Sentai man, you're not allowed to call them Rangers, right? People will kill you if you do that.
Yeah, they will.
The red Sentai man, his helmet, he's like an eagle, and his helmet has a yellow mouthpiece, like a beak.
Yeah, I liked that.
And that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that there is an eagle, a shark, and a panther.
Well,
team.
It's not a panther, it's a lion.
No, the White Ranger.
Oh yeah, the White.
No, they're gonna kill me.
The White. The White Ranger's the tiger.
Is it? I thought that was a panther.
It's a white tiger.
I thought it was like the snow leopard.
Nah, it's a white tiger.
Where'd you read that, buddy?
I didn't read it. I can see the tiger stripes on it.
You know what? A little song called "Holy Diver" told me not to judge a tiger by its stripes.
Okay. Well, a little Sentai team called Juoger told me that there was a white tiger on the team, and I'm inclined to believe them a little more.
You are doubting Ronnie James Dio right now.
Yeah, I'm doing it. What are you gonna fucking do? What are you gonna fucking do?
This podcast is over.
Say anything.
This podcast is over.
Fuck you.
God, I hate you, Liam. Well, that's our opinions. They fucking suck.
Okay, yeah, they're bad, if you wanted to know.
There's not even an eagle, shark, panther anymore, so I'm not even excited.
Yeah, I heard there was an eagle and a shark and a panther were the three main ones, and I was like, oh, it's a little callback. But then I remembered that they can't do Panther ever again. They're erasing Panther from history. He's not allowed to exist anymore.
Oh, yeah, because he touched children.
Because he's a fucking child molester, so they can't do it anymore.
Yeah, if you diddle children, they will retire your jersey.
Yeah, I guess. It's
That introspective pause you just did, like, are they going to retire my jersey?
They're going to retire this podcast when I'm done.
I guess we learned something about Liam tonight.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Our last question.
Okay, go for it.
Is from number one superfan Cyberman Worf.
Welcome back.
Who says, hello you guys, still enjoying the podcast as always.
That's good.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm glad people remind me of that.
Yeah, it's nice to know someone likes this every now and then. Usually people are just like, wow, your opinions fucking suck.
And they're not wrong, but...
they're wrong about my perfect opinions.
That's true. Jeff has his regular level opinions, like, when he says that Jonochi isn't his favorite Kamen Rider, and then he has his perfect level opinions, like when he says Nobunaga's a good suit. They're like two tiers.
I like how my perfect level opinions are just agreeing with you.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's weird how that works out.
Write in today and tell us you don't like Liam.
No.
We'll find a replacement.
I already know that.
My question is that if you could start any series from when it started airing as if it were brand new, which series would it be?
Kabuto.
Oh my god, you're setting yourself up for such disappointment.
Imagine, no, because when I watched Kabuto, even the first time going through it, I knew just through osmosis that it was going to get crazy. Someone told me that it was going to get crazy. I knew about the dark kitchen and all that crap. But if I could go through Kabuto just not knowing anything about it, that the fucking roller coaster at the halfway point would be worth every second. And the early Kabuto is really good. I love early Kabuto. And it's nice. It would be nice to sit through it without realizing that it's all gonna go to shit later.
Kabuto never becomes awful.
Yeah, no. I like the series
it just becomes
overall a lot.
Weird and nonsensical.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? What's your answer?
I've been like spoiled so heavily on the series that I haven't seen that I would just like to take back the spoilers, like to be able to wash my mind of it and start a series I haven't seen. Like clean.
Oh yeah.
Without knowing, like I already know like what happens later on in Forze.
Yeah, I know a lot about it too. Just
I know what happens in Wizard. And I know what happens in Hibiki.
It sucks because it's not like we go looking for it, but like I said, just through osmosis, you spend time in the Kamen Rider community and people talk about it like it's common knowledge. And you're just there and you're like, oh, fuck, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I guess we do it with Drive now.
Yeah, we do the same shit. And sometimes people will actively try and fuck it up for you, too. Like, they'll be like, oh, you like Kamen Rider? Well, here's this bit of information that you weren't going to find out until later.
Yo, Takeshi Hongo is secretly a cyborg. Bet you didn't know that shit.
Oh my god, I'm only 10 minutes into the first episode!
I'm not through the fucking intro sequence yet, please. Don't say anything.
Guess 10 minutes into the episode, I already have had it explained to me.
No, yeah, it's not just Kamen Rider. It's just an internet risk. Can you imagine someone who hasn't seen Star Wars trying to get through the internet? Like, what do you fucking do? Everyone knows that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Well, now they do.
Oh, I spilled it. Sorry.
You were just complaining about this.
This is different. Star Wars is on a slightly different cultural level in the West than Kamen Rider.
Oh, I'm just saying there is a time limit on this shit. Like, how many years has it been? Fucking 30?
Yeah, that's true. Over 30.
It's been 30 years. After 30 years, there's no more spoiler alert. You should have already seen Star Wars.
I hope so.
If you haven't, go watch it. It's real fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, 3
Don't
of those
watch the
movies are
prequels.
great. Yeah.
Don't watch the prequels.
Don't watch them. Just imagine them.
Don't even imagine them.
Yeah, that's actually probably a better idea.
You know, the funny part is I watched all the Star Wars movies as a kid. Like, all 3 of the originals before I saw the prequels.
Same here, yeah.
And many times before I saw it, actually. And I never once wondered what happened before Star Wars, the original one. Never once.
There's no great story left untold. It's just that they wanted to make a babillion, quadrillion dollars on a new Star Wars movie, and so they made 3 prequels. Why do you think these new ones
suffered?
Why do you think these new ones are being made?
Yeah, there's no story to tell afterwards either, but here we are.
It's over. The Death Star blew up, the Empire's done, and then,
Death Star blew up twice.
Disney wants even more money.
Guess what's going to be in the new one? A Death Star.
Oh god, I hope not. It's called the Star Killer Base now, Jeff. Get your fucking facts straight. Hashtag check your facts.
Hashtag idiot shaming.
Are we done? Are we done with hashtags?
I think we're done with living.
Hashtag Rider Club Radio.
Yeah, spread that horse shit around. You may have noticed that we were just dropping tweets that other people said throughout the show there. Those are called secondary rider opinions, and you can give yours to us after you watch Ghost At Rider Club Radio on Twitter.
Yee! And also shoot us an email. That's riderclubradio@gmail.com. You can ask us a question. You can have a fun comment. You can do whatever you like there. And if it's cool...
Your emails don't have to have be Kamen Rider related. They don't have to all... Because we've answered a lot of questions already, and we're starting to get duplicates.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to listen to, 42 episodes of this horse fucking cock and bull? How many of these things have we done?
I don't know, too many.
Far more than too many at this point. Nobody wants to listen to all that.
Needs to stop, and we've clearly passed it. That's the number.
So you can send us questions about any tokusatsu. If you want to ask us non-toku questions, that's alright too. If it's good, we'll answer it.
Oh boy, floodgates are open. If it's good, keyword, if it's good.
If it's good.
Be good.
And if we don't answer your question, it doesn't mean it's not good, it just means we don't love you.
And maybe we didn't have time.
That's also true.
Yeah.
We had a lot to talk about this episode. Most of it wasn't about the Ghost episode, though.
There's not much to say about the Ghost episode other than that it was kind of lame.
Hopefully we'll get a better episode next time.
Hopefully.
Again, we've said that for 5 episodes. So.
Yeah, Jeff, it's only episode 9.
How many episodes do you have to get in before you can say it's past only?
Jeff, it's only episode 43. It's up in the air.
I actually asked that question. On Twitter, I ask a Rider Club Radio question of the day while I'm at work.
Yeah.
So I can interact with people to escape my horrible, meaningless existence.
Jeff's work is very unengaging, so interact with him on Twitter during the day. Give the guy something to do.
Give me something to do that isn't my job. I technically get paid to interact with you guys on Twitter. I also get paid to take a dump sometimes. So.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I asked, how many episodes do you think is enough before you can safely quit a show? Before you've gotten all the information you need from it and you know you're not going to like it?
And most people I saw said 13, 15.
A lot of the answers were between 8 and 14.
Yeah, around the 10s is when people tend to get an idea of the series.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Although I think we came to the conclusion that no matter how many episodes you watch, someone is going to bitch you out for not watching more. And if you finish a series, someone is going to ask, why did you watch that series if you didn't like it?
Well, that's the conundrum of stuff in general on the internet when you say you don't like it. I think even if a series, say, gets good after 15 episodes and it's great from then on out, that's still a pretty big strike against the series that there's a bunch of episodes that are shit right at the start.
Yeah, Blade's actually a really good series, but God, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Before it stops being nonsensical.
Yeah.
And honestly kind of insulting. But
I can't wait till I get around to Blade. Your recommendation has really turned me on it.
It's good. I recommend it. Oh, shit. Everybody stopped listening by now, and I've been watching Forza.
Oh, how's that?
Forza is actually really good. It's kind of formulaic once the team gets together. Once he gets his friends together.
Yeah.
Gentaro himself is a really fun character, and it's a really lighthearted series.
Okay.
And it's actually genuinely funny. And we talk sometimes about the culture barrier.
Oh, yeah.
From East and West when it comes to humor.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Eastern style humor in it, but there's also a lot of Western style humor in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You mentioned before the scene where he's introduced to the different cliques in the school.
Yeah.
And it shows the jocks working out with spaghetti hanging out of their mouths, carb loading.
Carb loading.
That's a very Western joke.
Yeah, it is. It's something you'd see in a high school movie.
Yeah, like a Not Another Teen movie.
Yeah, that shit, yeah.
And everybody in the Kamen Rider Club is a really interesting character, and although people told me that they would matter very heavily to the plot, but after their introductory episode and they become a part of the club, they don't even tend to talk most of the time, especially once Meteor shows up.
Maybe plot mattering happens later.
Could be. I'm on episode 17.
Oh, okay, you're pretty deep into it.
Yeah, Meteor shows up around like 14, something like that. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But Meteor's a dickbag.
Yeah, I've
But
heard
he's
about him.
pretending not to be a dickbag.
Okay.
He's a secret agent man. And he's infiltrating the school like 21 Jump Street.
Oh.
And for his own reasons. He's not like a policeman or anything.
Okay.
But when he's not transformed, I don't give a shit about him.
Yeah.
When he transforms, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know he's like a Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he does like a Bruce Lee impression. And I was talking about earlier that the fights in Ghost leave something to be desired because there's genuine martial arts hand-to-hand choreography all the time when Meteor is around. Like, some of it's lifted straight from old Bruce Lee movies. Like, he does the Bruce Lee, like, pose, and his, like, catchphrase has him run his thumb under where his nose would be, like Bruce Lee did all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
He's basically Bruce Lee Rider, and as a huge Bruce Lee fan, I really enjoy that.
That's
and then
cool.
he turns back into a pretty boy prick. I don't like him that much anymore.
Sounds like an awesome show.
It's really good. Forze's suit is fucking awful.
Yeah, we've been through that.
I got used to it a lot more once I watched him move around in it a lot. Like you said, Magnet States is probably the ugliest suit I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's worse than Type Technic.
What about Meteor States or whatever? I've seen in a movie or something.
Yeah, I've seen what looks like a mock-up of that. I haven't actually seen it really.
It's like a gold and purple monstrosity.
Yeah. And that is worse. But so far for the ones I've genuinely seen, Magnet States is worse than anything on Earth. Magnet States is the Hitler of Tokusatsu costumes. You can quote me on that.
I think I've got...
Put it on the DVD box set.
I think I've got this week's episode title.
People are gonna, like, think we're ending the episode and be like, where the fuck was the title in that?
If you dropped out when we started doing the outro, I feel fucking bad for you. You missed something good.
You should put, like, a disclaimer in the fucking description or something. Listen until the end.
No. The good ones will get it.
Okay, this will be only for the good people. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you listening to this piece of crap we churn out every week.
We love you.
We have a great time doing it. We have an awesome time interacting with you guys. I'm on Twitter, like, all the time. 99% of the time, if you're talking to somebody on Rider Club Radio on Twitter, it's me.
Yeah, it's usually not me, so don't worry if you don't want to talk to me.
And nobody ever wants to talk to Liam, so I don't let him touch it.
Oh...
And that's at Rider Club Radio. And we have a Gmail. It's riderclubradio@gmail.com. Tune in next time.
See you.
Peace.